In this video, I really want to ask one big question to everyone out there that has been watching the channel for a while. I know that there's a lot of you that are new, and I get that, but those that have been around since going back to like 2020, 2021, I want to ask you guys a real quick question before we dive on into this video. And that is, did you notice how massive Hedera has become in just the last couple years? I want to go over that in this video. I want to actually address what's happening right now when it comes to HBAR, because I feel like a lot of people are missing the big picture. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And guys, if you want, join up in the free Discord. There's a ton of free information in there. You guys won't regret it. It's the first link at the description. And with that in mind, let's actually talk about a few things. I want to address how much has changed when it comes to Hedera going back to 2021, 2020 versus today. It's insane how different it actually is. I look back on these cycles and it really is like planting seeds. Eventually, it's going to grow. It's going to grow, and at some point in time, it's going to become so big to the point where it's too big to ignore. And I do believe that Hedera is at that point. I made a post in response to Zepsi, who also said the same exact thing. He basically said that in the past 4 years, he's never been more excited for Hedera. And I completely agree. I'm not biased when it comes to these projects. If I see something that isn't right, I will talk about it. I will address it. But when it comes to Hedera, it's crazy because I'm so bullish, not just on this cycle. I want to make sure that that is out there. It's not just about this cycle that I'm excited about Hedera. I'm excited and I'm very bullish on Hedera long term as well. I said I will keep telling everyone that Hedera today is nothing compared to what it was 3 to 4 years ago. When I first started covering HBAR, the ecosystem in the network was a ghost town. The technology was always there, and it was and is some of the best in the space. Today, the ecosystem is larger than ever. The numbers being put on the board around DeFi alone is insanely impressive. Hedera is becoming a giant that's too big to ignore at this point. I could just imagine what happens when HBAR is trading in the top 10 and Hedera has become a dominant network. And I do believe that we're on that path. I keep saying it, and I know that it sounds annoying, but I do believe that we are on that path. When we go and look at developer activity alone, now, this is a substantial list. I mean, we're talking about ICP, Chainlink, ADA, DOT, the list goes on. This is the top overall coins by notable development activity in the past 30 days. If we look at this, HBAR is number 3 on this list. Dev activity on the last 30 days, HBAR at 242.1. What's crazy about this, though, is, how small Hedera is compared to some of these names on this list. I mean, builders are building. We are seeing a ton of massive network commits. We are seeing a lot of building happening on Hedera. And I also think that it's, it's not just about, oh, hey, look, there's a lot of dev activity, but what is actually being built here? That's what a lot of people question, like, what's actually going on here? Well, that's the thing. I think that the volume and I think that the value on the network and I think that the ecosystem players around the network is proof of what's being built. I bring up DeFi a lot because, DeFi is such a big piece of the overall puzzle, which we will get to. But if we look at the core developers and the commits on the network, this is on the monthly timetable, by the way. This was back in 2020 into 2021. Now, there was a lot of development activity there, sure. But once we got into 2022, it felt as if the commits and the development activity was only skyrocketing up only. And even today, if we're thinking about, this is on a monthly time frame, by the way. Back in November, 3.67K commits, 109 developers. Right now, 3.81K in the month of December, 107 developers. There's a lot being built here, and there's a lot of dev activity, and most of it is around DeFi and around retail-driven use cases. This is very exciting to me because this is all immediate value on the network. We don't have to wait for institutions. We don't have to wait for enterprises to launch their use cases. No, this is immediate value. And I'll talk about it, right? Let's go over to DeFi for an example. This is just volume on a monthly time frame around DeFi. Guys, November was the highest month for DeFi volume. It was 324 million. We are now sitting just over $500 million in DeFi volume on Hedera. That's insane to me. That is absolutely insane to me. When we go back here, right? I mean, we were sub $30 million for a month. And this didn't really start to pick up until around roughly the end of 2023 into 2024. And we thought that the 265 million back in March of 2024, this year, was crazy. But we just hit $500 million. Now, if we look, right, the dev activity that we're seeing, the building that we're actually seeing, it's not just useless dev commits. For an example, Bonzo Finance recently just launched. They're doing incredibly well. 1 month change up 166%. Saucer Swap is another great example of building that's been ongoing for well over 2 years now. It's a big piece of the TVO pie. And then we also have HBAR Suit. We have DaVinci Graph. I mean, there's some great projects here on Hedera, and there's only more and more that pop up every single day. And then also, if we look at trading volume of HBAR, we hit $50 billion in the month of December. We thought November was crazy at almost 21 billion, but no. We continue to just grow significantly. Now, yes, we are in the middle of, a bull run. Yes, we're starting to see alt season, starting to trickle a little bit. But it also shows you how big Hedera is becoming versus back in like 2020, 2021 when almost nobody was talking about it. Now, on top of this, right, we look at the network. All right, and maybe outside of retail, we look at the GC. When we are thinking about retail, okay, retail investors, they love flashy. They love investing into things that they know. I'm bringing this up simply because when I look at this image, now I've been around the Web3 and the crypto space for a very long time now, but if I shed that whole, time in this market, all the experience I know, and I'm just a retail investor, and I'm looking at this list and I'm saying, all right, why should I invest my money in this? Well, Standard Bank is here. Shinhan Bank is here. ServiceNow is here. Mondelez, I know Mondelez, household name. LG, interesting, LG's here. IBM, Hitachi, Google, Dell, Boeing. I mean, all of a sudden, it's household names. It's household names that I'm recognizing from the traditional, world. And I'm like, why are they here? Why are they here? Why are they on a GC of a company around the crypto space? What's going on here? And then even the announcement from the other day with Equity Lab, right, with NVIDIA and Intel, all of a sudden I'm like, well, I know NVIDIA, I know Intel as well. Like, what's going on here? Oh, it must be the start. And what am I thinking about? What am I thinking about the start of what? Well, we're seeing the adoption of the tech. we're seeing the gap filled to get to the convergence of Web 2 and Web 3. We're now witnessing Hedera working with some of the biggest names out there in the world. And for the retail sector, the average investor around the retail sector, they're going to notice this. It might not be right now, but when they find out what Hedera is doing, when they look at the names that Hedera is working with, there's no turning back. There's no turning back. It's almost as if, it's like when someone finds out about the, partnerships that, for example, Ripple has, and they're like, all right, well, what blockchain is Ripple, using? Oh, the XRP ledger. I have to have XRP now. Look at all these partners. Like, they just have to. It's the same with Hedera right now. When you look at these names that are being tapped in, it's impossible to ignore Hedera. This is why I keep saying Hedera is becoming so big that it's almost impossible to ignore. We are almost closing the gap on 400,000 followers. The overall engagement is incredible to see for Hedera. And every single day, it feels like there is a new announcement every single day. And I do want to put a spotlight on this announcement, actually, with Charles Adkins now becoming the CEO of the HBAR Foundation. We couldn't be more excited to announce a new chapter for 2025 as we appoint Charles Adkins as CEO effective January 1st, 2025, and will also be rebranding to Hedera Foundation. This marks a pivotal moment for the Hedera ecosystem as we strengthen our commitment to the community, DeFi, and an acceleration of AI tokenization and digital identity. That last portion there, right? The acceleration of AI tokenization and digital ID, that is such a big thing for Hedera. Because guess what? Those are the three main steps to institutional DeFi. Those are the three main steps to, tokenization at scale. We have, as former president of Hedera, as well as key roles at Polygon and Aptos, Charles brings deep Web3 and leadership experience as the role of CEO. Alongside a commitment to strengthen the Hedera ecosystem and community across DeFi, AI, DIDs, and tokenization, in 2025, Hedera Foundation will launch several initiatives to make DeFi more accessible, providing secure and straightforward tools for the management of digital assets. So DeFi on Hedera is going to wake up even more. These initiatives aim to ensure that every user can engage confidently in the emerging financial landscape across the globe. Alongside this, central to Hedera Foundation's new strategy is the development of a transparent on-chain grant management platform, empowering the Hedera community to participate directly in the funding process, whilst aligning transparent project support with community needs and values. This year, the Hedera community and its ecosystem of builders have shown why Hedera is the best-in-class network for enterprise AI, RWAs, and DeFi, and we couldn't be more excited to help turbocharge this activity in 2025 under Charles' leadership. So listen, we are about to see Hedera wake up in such a big way. We are about to see everything that we've just went over accelerate in a big way. I'm telling you guys right now, you do not want to miss the HBAR train. I truly do believe that Hedera is becoming a household name in this space. Through all of the information that I've gone over, to just looking at the ecosystem alone. Yeah, Hedera today, it's nothing like 2020, 2021. When we look at HBAR now, it is, in my opinion, 10 times, if not more, bullish than it was back in 2021. If we're talking about price action, yeah, I don't think that we have anything to worry about. If we're talking about the long-term path ahead, I do believe that Hedera is going to be a blue chip. I do believe that it is going to be a household name. People are going to know what Hashgraph is. They're going to know the Hedera name as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.